Hey, my friends over in the Facebook world. Hello, my friends on YouTube. We are jumping in. We're going to cover something. A lot of people right now, they're wondering like, does this stuff work in my market? Does it work in a super fast-paced market? Does it work in the Midwest? Like a lot of people have questions about that, and I want to tackle that. I want to actually go through it so that we can break down and understand how it works, not just does it work or not work, but how this stuff works. And right now, we're using social media to pull sellers into us almost every day of the week. We've got new sellers coming into us for us and then for our members across the country. And I found something that's really unique. I found that when you go out and you actively try to help people, big shocker here, big shocker. When you actively go out and try to help people when they need help and you put yourself out there, then sellers will come to you. Big shocker, right? Well, here's the thing. Most marketing that's out there for real estate investors right now is going out and asking someone to come to you. So meaning like cold calling. Think about this. The cold calling marketing method for real estate investors, which I hate. I just cringe when I even think about it. But cold calling is brutal. You buy a list and then you start dialing and you're basically like, hey, do you want to sell? Hey, do you want to sell? Hey. And you're going through hundreds of people just to get one person that maybe wants an offer. And that methodology, that's old, it's dated. It can work if you've got a lot of patience and you're willing to get rejected a lot, or if you hire some big call center to make calls for you and you just don't care. That can work. But nowadays, you don't have to do that. Nowadays, there's this thing called social media. Hey, look, we're connected here. This stuff works. And with sellers, it works the same way. What we do is we get an ad in front of them. We tell them what we do. We show them how we can help them. And then we get on the phone with them to demonstrate that we can actually help. That's the process. And when you keep it that simple, this business gets a heck of a lot easier. So there's three things that we're going to cover in this. Number one, I keep hearing over and over again, well, Nate, you don't understand. I live in XYZ market. In my market, I don't think this stuff will work. Okay, we're going to cover that. Okay, we're also going to cover, well, Nate, I already get the best leads in the business. I'm part of one of those franchises that supplies me leads. Okay, we're going to cover that. And then we're also going to cover the topic that I love the most, that even your grandma is on social media right now. So I guarantee you your sellers are. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, first and foremost, for those of you that are out there that are in a hot market, God bless you. I love you, man. That's awesome. I do a very hot market myself. I do just south of Tampa. I do Sarasota, Florida. And Tampa is one of the hottest markets in the country right now. And I'm just going to pull some actual stats for you. So when I say hot, I mean like stuff sells really fast. Like I heard somebody earlier today, they were telling me when we were going through their KPIs, their key performance indicators, one of our members, he said, well, Nate, I'm in Denver, and in the Denver market, stuff is selling for like 3 or 4 days on market and it's sold. And I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, well, if it's priced right. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. If it's priced right, yes, stuff will sell fast. Let's actually look up the average days on market a house takes to sell. And when we did, we figured out it was somewhere in the 80s, which is a hot market. It's pretty hot. Now, if 80s is the normal, if that's the average it takes for a house to sell, and then you get another market that takes a full month less than that, or cuts it down by 33% or whatever, that is a fast moving market. And Tampa is one of them. Tampa sells right now on average in 64 days on market. That's a fast market. Okay. Other ones are like Austin, Texas, San Bernardino County, California, San Diego. It's always a pretty hot one. These markets, New York, we've got members from New York. These markets are fast moving. Like they are aggressively selling houses. And if you're in one of those, fantastic. That's great. This stuff works even better. The thing is because it generally in these more expensive markets, the way that social media ads work is that if they know they can sell the advertisement space for more to somebody else, then they're gonna. So if you're in a really rich area, wealthy area, ads generally cost more to run than in maybe more modest areas in the country. That's the trade-off. It's not like one area works and one area doesn't work. It totally flat out works. It just does. I know it because I do it. I run ads every single day for myself. I run ads for other people, and I help a lot of people across the country get to see their accounts. So I know what it's like. I know what's going on inside the whole like social media world for marketing. Okay. So I want to tell you about this one gentleman who really, he came down in Sacramento, and he said, well, I don't know if this is going to work. Like, I don't know about this whole social media stuff. And he ended up jumping in, joined, and then we got his ads up and running. And then guess what? He started getting leads. He got 14 leads. And at first he's like, well, Nate, my leads aren't replying. And I'm like, well, what do you mean they're not replying? He's like, well, I called them and they didn't answer. And then I jumped on the line with them, and I'm like, to help you understand. He's like, well, 4 of them answered right away. It's just the other 10 out of the 14 I haven't been able to get. So I personally sent text messages to the other 10, personally text all of them. I ended up getting 6 out of the 10 to reply to me. And one of them said, hey, I've been waiting for an offer. No one's reached out to me. So for whatever reason, when he called, they just went to voicemail, whatever. But when I text them, I got them all. And then guess what? The one that I was going back and forth with for him, he ended up putting the deal under contract. So like these leads, these people that are on Facebook and in other social platforms, just like you and I, this stuff works. It does, flat out, hands down, totally works. The question is how are you reaching out to them? If you're trying this through like organic posts and whatnot, organic can work to some degree, but it's never going to get you the exposure that a paid ad would. A paid advertisement is just flat out easier. You pay Facebook a few bucks to get you in front of thousands of people. And then guess what? The leads just keep coming and coming because you're willing to give Facebook a little bit of money. Facebook is an advertising platform. Let's face it. Yes, you and I like to go on there and kind of see friends and photos and all that kind of stuff. But the platform wasn't really built for that. The platform was to get a bunch of users on it and then to sell advertising space. And that's what it's gotten really good at. I'm going to go through some of the stats that you're definitely going to want to hear for point number 3 during this. Okay. We've got another member right now who's in Tampa himself. And he jumped into our program, and within 6 weeks, he closed a deal that he net more than most people do on a deal in a single month or half a year, more than most people do. And I'm not going to get into his specific profits because I don't want everyone to think like, oh my gosh, I'm going to profit so much. Like, I'm not saying that at all. Like, this stuff takes work and takes some skill, takes expertise. But this gentleman in our program, he was able to jump in and do it. His name's Michael, really good dude. And he's still crushing it. He just posted inside of our group that he's gotten 4 deals in the last few weeks. So he's doing something right. Okay. So this stuff does work in counties like that. We've got another gentleman that's in San Bernardino County. He was really skeptical coming in. And then after he started to see the leads come in, he turned off his other marketing channel. So pretty cool stuff. Okay. So if you're in one of those hot markets, it may even work better than the slow markets. That's just point blank. It probably will work better. Okay. Next, let's talk about this. The folks out there who get leads from some type of other marketing platform right now. If you're particularly getting like cold call leads or recycle list leads and things like that, I don't even really want to compare them because it's not an apples to apples comparison. Like, I feel bad for those that are getting cold call leads right now and cold calling. I feel really bad. I had one person come to me and she talked to me on the phone and she told me how much she needed to make real estate work. And I said, how long have you been at this? And she said, well, I've been cold calling for a year. And I said, well, how many deals have you gotten done in that year? And she said, I haven't been able to close any of them. I'm like, really? And you haven't quit? She's like, no, Nate, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And I'm like, well, God bless you. Like, you got a lot more heart than most people do, because most people, when you get rejected for a year straight, like, you just give up. So I don't even want to compare those leads. Like, that's not an easy way to do this business. If you want the easier way to do the business, you have sellers come to you asking you for help. Feel the difference when they come to you and ask for help? That's what you want. Okay. So I had this one person he's got one of those franchises where he gets leads as part of the whole franchise and whatnot, paid a fortune to buy the franchise up front. He pays a fortune in marketing costs every single month to keep getting deals in. He actually pays over $10,000 right now in marketing costs to get one seller signed contract. Can you imagine that? Like, insanity. Okay. When he started to see my numbers on the Facebook side, he didn't believe me. He's like, no way. That's too good to be true. That's not possible. And I've shown him my actual screen shares, showing him what I'm paying, because I run ads. I do every single day. I am running ads right now. And I get to see it for all of our clients across the country. And like, I know what's working right now. And so I'm showing him this stuff. And he's like, no, that's too good to be true. That's too, and he's like, you know what, Nate, I've known you for a long time. I'm just going to trust you. I'm going to try it. I'm like, okay, all right. He jumps in 3 weeks later. I'm texting him. I'm like, hey, give me an update. What's going on? And he's like, well, I had to turn it off. And I'm like, text him back. What do you mean you had to turn it off? And then he texts back, and then I called him and I'm like, dude, what do you mean you had to turn it off? And then he tells me, he's like, well, I had to turn it off because I was getting so many leads that my team can't keep up. And I'm like, no kidding. He's like, yeah, I'm just turning it on Saturdays and Sundays now. I get too many leads otherwise. And I'm like, well, what's your cost per lead? And we're going through all that kind of stuff. And he was converting contracts for way cheaper than he was through the big franchise that he's with. And when I heard that, I'm like, yes, this is awesome. Let's do this. Let's keep going. Like, it just jazzed me up. So those of you that are getting leads right now through some other system, just know that social media is powerful. It is. I'm going to hit those stats in just a minute to really explain why, but social media is freaking powerful. There's just nothing better out there right now for marketing costs. And I've done it all. I've done direct mail. I actually made a big mistake with direct mail. I made the mistake of dropping 48 grand in direct mail a year ago. A partner helped with it all. And then I was fulfilling by calling all the folks and meeting sellers and whatnot. And I ended up striking out. Embarrassingly, like, I made a mistake. I know the mistake that I made. The mistake on it was that we dropped absentee mailers in a city or county in Florida where most of the homeowners own vacation houses. And unfortunately, that doesn't work so well when in a strong real estate market. Those sellers, they didn't want to, just because they were absentee didn't mean that they wanted to sell. So I made a rookie mistake, which I don't usually do, but I did on that direct mail drop. And it was just like pouring salt in a wound thinking about it. And then I went back to Facebook, and Facebook has been great, fantastic. I absolutely love it. I was doing Facebook well before that. I just wanted to try one more angle to generate a bunch of leads. Well, that angle, I'm not going back there again, especially during this whole craziness. I don't know about you right now, but like, when I get junk mail that comes to me because of the whole like craziness in the world, I'm like, I don't want to touch that. That's dirty. Throw it away. Go straight to the trash. Like, I don't even want to see junk mail right now. So direct mail is junk mail to me. No way. No, thank you. Okay. Social media, on the other hand, consumption rates are up during the whole craziness. Like, consumption rates have gone through the roof. People are on the internet all the time, and they're there. Like, you can catch them. I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you how in just a couple of minutes here too. Okay. So next, so I had another one of those franchise folks. I've had a handful of franchise folks come to me, and the same thing. Like, I just took a call last Saturday from one of the franchise folks, and he's like, well, this is just the numbers. Like, I don't know how it's possible. I don't get it. Like, what are you doing that's so much different? And I'm like, I'm not really doing that much different. We do one thing that's majorly different though, that we actually write ad copy that touches the seller. That's the big thing. Like, we're not just putting out, we buy houses kind of stuff. No, that's general stuff. If you actually write ad copy, the text or the phrases that enter the conversation that's going on in the head of the seller. Like, as an example, a probate seller, very different than someone that is getting foreclosed on by the bank. You got foreclosure is like financial pinch. Probate is, I just inherited the house because my mom died. Two totally different states of mind. And if you do a general ad to them, that can work. But what works even better is if you get inside the conversation that's going on inside the head of the seller of the probate. Say something like, are you tired of dealing with the probate process? Don't know what to do with mom or dad's stuff? Tired of arguing with your brother about what to do with mom and dad's house? Hi, I can help with this. I'm Nate from Nate Buys Houses. I've been helping probate seller. Like, I'm just going on the fly with you. But if you get copy like that enters their world, your ads convert way, way better. So that's the big difference. We're professionally writing copy. We hire people to help us with these ads. We really think stuff through and then build campaigns, not just throw up an ad and hope that it works, but actually build campaigns that retarget people. So when someone clicks on one of your ads, or they ask a question or a comment, like, we're going back and getting the ad back in front of them. The average person needs to see a brand 7 times before they take any kind of action. 7 times. So you can't just throw up one ad and hope for the best. Instead, you got to get in front of them again and again and again. So that's the success of our ads. That's the reason why they're converting really, really well. Okay. Now, if this stuff, like if you're like, gosh, I really want to see behind the curtains on this stuff, then here's what you can do. You can go to socialmediablueprint.com/podcast, where we put together everything. Like literally there's a training there that will show you everything that we're doing right now. I'm not hiding anything. Like all the secrets are revealed. You'll see exactly what we're doing. And if that resonates with you, then go grab that right now. That's at socialmediablueprint.com/podcast. And you can see what we're doing to make this stuff work, to make sellers come to us and come to our other members across the country. Okay, the next one, my favorite, is that even your grandma is on social media right now. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like a lot of people will say, well, Nate, I don't know if the sellers in my market are on social media. It's like, it's an old town or whatever. It's not a very social, like it's only young people, whatever. Here's the thing, and I'm going to go through some stats, and these are brought to us courtesy of omnicoreagency.com, and I will put a link for that down below this, and you can check it out. You can check out the stats yourself. But right now, 83% of women and 75% of men, I should say female and male, 83% of female and 75% of male internet users. So this is more than 3/4 of internet users are on Facebook. Hello. That means that there's only 20% of women that aren't on Facebook right now. And only 25% of men are not on Facebook right now. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Like that's a huge statistic right now. This is just Facebook. Facebook alone. I'm not even talking about the other Pinterest and Instagram and everything else. I'm only talking about Facebook. So the next stat you'll find interesting is that in America, at least 69% of adults are on Facebook. So it's not just the kids, it's adults. 69%. That's like 2/3, over 2/3 of all adults are on Facebook right now. Okay. Every 1 minute right now, 400 new users join Facebook. Every minute, 400 new people, 400 new people, 400 new people every day, all day long, 60 times an hour. Like this is insane how fast it's still growing. Like it's crazy to me. Okay. The next stat that you're going to find interesting, and this is probably the most important and why it makes it a powerful platform to advertise on. 74% of the users connect daily. 3/4 of the, so it's one thing to say like, I got 1 billion users. It's another thing to say that my users connect every single day. 74%, that's 3/4 connect every single day. And watch this number. They're on for 38 minutes average. 38, some people are on for hours, some people are on a little bit less, but for average of 38 minutes. Now I want to compare that. I want to put that in perspective for you. Think about NBC, ABC, Fox News, CNN, you name it, all these other platforms that are out there. Those are networks. If Facebook were a network, it would totally tower over them in consumption because they've got users by day for 38 minutes. They've got 74% of America for 38 minutes per day. The next closest that I could find in statistics, and you can scour around and there's different stats that are out there, but CBS was boasting that it has 48% of their users, and I'm not even talking about like 48% of America, not at all. I'm talking about just their users. 48% of their users or their usual consumers, they see their programming at least once a month. Once a month. Facebook is every day, 74% of their users are on it for 38 minutes. You wonder why it's so easy to get in front of people with ads. It's not a big wonder, okay? And when someone gets into your campaign to retarget them, you've probably seen this before. When you've clicked on an ad of some sort, have you noticed that when you leave that platform and you go to a different web page, you're on like barnesandnoble.com or abcnews.com or whatever, and you notice that brand keeps popping up over and over and over again? Well, that's called retargeting. And it's really easy to do that because Facebook has syndicate relationships with other platforms that are out there. And when you're buying ads on Facebook, you're actually able to promote yourself all over the web. So it's not just Facebook that you have to think about. You're all over the web when you do this marketing the right way. Okay. So I hope that this was helpful. I didn't want to go like all techie and all nerdy on you. I've got some folks out there that they call me their geek because I guess that's the cool thing, whatever, the Geek Squad, Nate, whatever. I want to make sure that when I do this with other real estate investors, that they see the results that we're getting. So if you want to see what we're doing and just pull back the curtains on this, then go to socialmediablueprint.com/podcast and you'll see it there. And then additionally, the next time that I jump on like this, we're covering something that's pretty darn cool. We're covering the most common mistakes that real estate investors make that kills their deals. And I want to help take away those mistakes. Okay. So that's the next episode that we're going to be covering together. And until the next time, I would love if you could give us some comments below or give us a rating. I'd appreciate that. Okay. We'll talk soon. Thanks.